Welcome back to another episode here at Mixtapes and Mistakes. I am your host. We're doing another thing in the cover song series. So several months ago, back when we were, live and in charge and in different digs, new digs, same mission, I talked about this song on the cover song series. It's a Geto Boys song. She Mind's Playing Tricks on Me. It was in the mental health series. And there's this band called Nether Hour that covered it. So while we've been gone, I had struggled with the idea of talking about live covers. Live covers are kind of an intriguing thing because it's usually a one shot. Like you're at a show and somebody pulls it out of a pocket. Maybe they've rehearsed it. Maybe it's a song they play all the time. But you're hearing it like, whoa. This song is that. This song, like, of all the songs I ever thought I would hear someone cover, this song was not on my list of, not on my bingo card for 2018, 2017, when this, I think, was actually recorded. I actually stumbled upon this band literally by accident. I was working on an entirely different playlist, and I stumbled on this basically funk rock band from Austin, Texas. And they're covering this Geto Boys song. Now, mind you, the most interesting thing about the cover is that they do a great job of making the bass line work. The bass line, like, so in a lot of songs, but in a lot of songs you hear a bass line, it's sometimes it's the hook that carries the song, and then you build around it, you're like, oh, okay. But the thing that's in your ear is the bass. That's exactly what happens in this song, even though it's live. She's like, okay, what's happening? But what I loved about the song and why I struggled with whether I was going to do it or not, if you look back at the rest of this channel, most of the cover song series, the songs are done about songs that were covered for a record. So like lists of songs I have not talked about yet, like Knocking on Heaven's Door by Guns N' Roses, which is a Bob Dylan cover. Heroes by the Wallflowers, which is a David Bowie cover. Just as examples. Those songs either appear on soundtracks. I think Heroes is on the Godzilla soundtrack. From the Wallflowers, maybe. Knocking on Heaven's Door, I think, is on Use Your Illusion 2. But they're on records. Like, you tell they went to a studio and meant to make this noise. The things that happen in this Nether Hour cover are things that I don't even think that have happened again for this band. Like, I have not looked. So let me kind of explain. Let me do a little bit of the format. Let me get you a kind of a thing, so that you kind of know who we're talking about and what's really going on. I'm gonna start by talking about the original artist for a minute, so that a lot of people might not know who the Geto Boys are. Everybody kind of knows who Bushwick Bill is. He's the short guy in the Geto Boys. There was Willie D, there was Scarface, there's Big Mike, there's Prince Johnny, who I think does vocals now. But they're an American hip-hop group originally formed in Houston in the 1990s, and their big hit, actually, is the subject of the song today, My Mind's Playing Tricks on Me. And the most interesting thing about that song is that that song appears on the 1991 album We Can't Be Stopped. And that album cover, part of the thing that was the big hubbub at the time, and 91 was just crazy year for music. But there's this whole injured picture of Bushwick Bill being carted through the hospital in a wheelchair by Scarface and Willie D. And there's a whole bunch of controversy about the record itself, which I'm not even going to get into because it's a whole thing. But the song My Mind's Playing Tricks on Me is about the mental anguish and exhaustion of a life as a gangster. dealing with post-traumatic stress, paranoia, suicidal ideation, and loneliness. It's when you hear the song, you can see it in your mind. You can see, not just because of the video. The music video by itself is a whole other, like, how this ended up on MTV. But especially if you're hearing the headphones, you're just vibing with the song, you hear on the track Bushwick, like, going through it. And people think the song is unique because it talks about life, the trauma and vulnerability of life on the streets. And it does that, but I think what it does as a song better, I think it describes one guy's struggle with life itself. He's talking about problems with his relationship. He's talking about problems with his job. Mind you, his job is that he's a drug dealer, but that's kind of besides the point. So you got that going on. It's a great song. It's underrated. And it's just, it does everything that general rap songs have done since '82, which is find a song, take a good hook, and rap over it. And in fact, I wanted to dig a little deeper for a second, and I'm trying to find if there's anything on what the hook in the song is. And there's nothing on the hook itself. So it may have been something they recorded in the studio. I will have to, let's dig in real time. I haven't done this in so long. So now we know. So let me tell you give you a little background. So it samples the Isaac Hayes song "Hung Up on My Baby" from the 1974 film Tough Guys. I knew there was a hook. But now the hook is recognizable now. So now you know where it comes from. And I wonder if I could. Can I find? I'm doing this in real time, by the way. I'm doing this like I haven't done this in a while. There it is. People forget that Isaac Hayes was also a musician. Give you a little bit of the hook here. So, and the thing about that hook, the original, much like every other time you hear something, the original is kind of like you hear the bones of the thing that you know better. So then you get this. They made it a little more clear. I feel like they sampled something closer to the end of the song versus the beginning. But it has the thing in it. So it has the thing, like, it has that flow to it, right? So when the Nether Hour covers it, because it's live, I'm gonna have to let me hold on. Let me do something different here. I have to start it in a little different. Let it play for a minute to let them do what they do. Hold on. And earlier in the video, I talk about, because the bass is what drew me to it, listening to it. The guitar in this song is also amazing. And there's a thing that happens, like, because we're not playing the whole song, we're not doing the whole, thing, because we're already at, like, probably way too long for a comeback video. There's a thing that happens in the break of this song where the keyboardist, like, really goes to work. And I don't even know if that keyboardist is even still in this band. I have to find that out. Because looking at their website, it seems like there's some lineup changes, but they should have kept this version of the band together if they didn't. Like, and maybe this is just their live band and the studio band might be just 4 people. I don't know. But when I heard this song, I was like, why aren't more funk artists, rock artists, why aren't more people covering rap songs? And it makes me I have a couple of suppositions on this. One, I don't know that enough people are discovering some of these gems to go back and cover. Two, I really feel like if I had a rock band to cover songs from hip hop, I don't know that I would cover a bunch of gangster rap songs. I don't know that. This is just personal preference. I would probably cover like a Kool Moe Dee song. I'd probably cover like LL Cool J was already on Unplugged, so he was already doing that. It's been like, that's him doing his music, but I think there's the melody. I think there are a lot of good songs that could probably be done by rock artists or funk artists. Probably funk more than anything else, just because of the proximity to. I don't know that a metal version of My Mind Playing Tricks on Me, what that would sound like. It's probably really what I'm saying. You could probably do it. I don't know if it'd be good. But since it's just a comeback video, I wanted to see how it was going to work out. The new digs. Jumping back on the saddle. Probably not doing it the way I used to do it, but we're doing it this way. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. Comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know if if this comeback video was worth it. If it wasn't, we're going to keep doing it, though. Hopefully, we will. I'll say this before I leave. So, in the background, I have a bunch of other stuff that I'm working on. The next thing in the cover song series is something new that I have not done before. I have stumbled upon 12 Beatles covers by different artists. Like, it's not even one artist covering a bunch of Beatles, like covering Revolver. I guess that's a whole other story for another day. But probably the next story in this saga is going to be a album of sorts, where it's 12 Beatles covers by different artists. We'll talk about the artists, we'll talk about the songs, and we're going to do them. I could either do them as one collection. I may do that as a series. I may do the Beatles artists as a series, and at the end release the whole playlist. I might do that. That might be an easier thing, because that gives you more content. So, peace and Afro Grease. The return will be filmed. Thank you. Good night.